Alright, hello everybody. This is my first fantasy football video. My name is Mike. I go by Koopa Troopa on all my fantasy leagues. My blog and my account on YouTube are Koopa Fantasy. You can find my blog at koopafantasy.wordpress.com. A lot of the things that I talk about in here will be posted on that blog if you ever want to read about them, want to see them again. There'll probably be a bit more stuff on there as well. Alright, this post is my mixed bag. It's just some players who are probably floating around the waiver wire and may surprise you with how productive they are this season. Joseph Adai is the first one for the Colts. He's struggled with injuries lately, but when he plays, he tends to play good. He really works with their system. I guarantee he'll be back with them next year because he's a free agent. His experience and intelligence will make him the #1 back in front of Donald Brown and I think Hart. So he could put up some pretty good numbers if he stays healthy. For Buffalo, you have Fitzpatrick and Stevie Johnson, who I'm going to talk about. Fitzpatrick took over as QB for Trent Edwards. He did a pretty good job. Took a lot more risks, led to some increased numbers and a couple wins for the Bills. A lot of his yards and TDs went to Stevie Johnson. He ended up with like 1,000 yards and 10 TDs in the season, and he's probably have some good numbers again. Teams are going to be looking out for him, obviously, as he's their new #1 receiver, which they desperately needed, but he'll definitely be a good receiver this year again. Ryan Train and Roy Halou in Washington. If it wasn't for Train not being able to stay healthy, I'd say he is a pretty good pick as a #2 running back or as a backup. But he can't seem to stay healthy, so he's a bit of a risk. Roy Halou is the guy who they drafted this year. He could be taking over for Train. Basically, it'll just be whoever's the hot hand. Mike Shanahan loves to run the ball, knows how to get 1,000 yards almost anybody. So it's whoever is hot on any given week will be getting the touches and putting up points for you. Steve Smith and Mario Manningham and for the Giants is the pretty key one here. Everybody's talking about Steve Nicks, but Eli Manning, he's put up like 4,000 yards in the last 2 years each season. So he's got yards going to multiple players. Last year, Mario Manningham had almost 1,000 yards, 9 TDs. Steve Smith was out with injury. He's going to miss some time again this year, but if he comes back late in the season, Eli loves him. He sees tons of targets. He could surprise you as well. Moving on to Detroit, you have the running backs Javid Best and the rookie Mike LaSure. They're going to be splitting touches again, so it's going to have to wait and kind of see who ends up being the #1 guy there. They can end up both having good seasons, or they could both struggle. It's going to be hard to pick, but I think one of them is going to have a great season. I play in leagues, so you tend to play 3 wide receivers, so I like to stack on them, add some depth to my team, juggle them around, and I want to name some dudes here that I think might surprise you with how good they're going to be. There's Jordy Nelson in Green Bay. Donald Driver is only getting older. James Jones is probably going to be leaving. He looked great in the playoffs in the Super Bowl, 100 yards and a TD in the Super Bowl win. Johnny Knox in Chicago, they need a #1. He could be the guy this year. He sees the most targets. He just needs to catch more of them. He only caught about 50% of his targets last year. If he can improve that ratio, then he should probably have some great numbers. Lance Moore in New Orleans. He's underrated in my opinion. Behind Marcus Colston, he's the most balanced guy to me. He's fast. He plays his ass off. Devery Henderson is inconsistent. Same with Robert Meacham. I like Lance Moore there in that pass-heavy offense. Devon Best in Miami. He's kind of like a little Wes Welker, third down specialist, amazing concentration. He can put up some great numbers for you. Miami really utilizes him to the fullest. Danny Amendola in St. Louis. Sam Bradford, great little QB, loves to throw the ball. Danny Amendola saw the most targets last year. Will probably see the most targets this year again. Doesn't get a lot of yards per catch, but in PPR leagues, he's great, and he could see an increase in yards this year again. In Cincinnati, Jerome Simpson. He didn't play much. He only had like 2 or 3 games towards the end of the year, but he looked stellar in them. Granted, they were technically garbage games, you could say. The guy's tall, physical. His hands are gigantic. He could have a great season. And there's even rumors he'll be the #1 wide receiver if Ocho leaves, so that'd be huge for him. Then finally in Washington, Moss and Armstrong, the wide receiver combo there. I had Moss last year as a #3 receiver in one of my leagues, and it was great. He was racking in like 60 to 80 yards a game, usually with a TD. My only worry this year is that Armstrong could be stretching the field even more, stealing some of those yards. The guy can put up like 60-yard TD on one play. So he could steal from Moss, even increasingly this year. So that's kind of something to watch out for. But I think either one of them could be a great like flex option for you come this season. And that is it for me. This is Kuba Trupa. You can follow me on Twitter as well if you want to stay in touch with me. It's Blackie, the color IE at the end, Blackie underscore Mike. So follow me there if you'd like. Visit my blog, koopafantasy.wordpress.com, spelled the same way as my username for my videos here. So I'll be updating more of these as I create more articles for my blog, and I will post them on here, and hopefully you guys will watch them and enjoy them and comment if you'd like. Thank you very much. Peace.